What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all so much for joining us here at Chad's Media for another episode of the Tyler Lennon Show. I'm Tyler Lennon. Sitting here with me is my partner in crime, the man who's going to be helping me bring you all things Sulphur Springs football this year, and will also be broadcasting every game on Friday nights with me, Ryan Humphries.
What's up, man? I'm happy to be back. I'm back for good this time.
Right.
I've been on the Tyler Lennon Show once or twice now. I know I've been on your podcast multiple times, but I'm back in Sulphur Springs for good, and I'm really excited.
Ryan, we are just a few weeks away from the football season starting, and I can't think of a better guest to have than the man sitting to my right, the head coach of your Sulphur Springs Wildcats, Coach Faircloth. Coach, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. It's an exciting time of year.
Yes, sir. It's the night before.
Yes.
I know there's always some excitement there, but I'm wondering, you're not obviously a first-year coach, but your first year here in
Sure.
Sulphur Springs, is there kind of any added excitement for this?
Oh, it's Christmas Eve, to me. I mean, we can't wait. Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, we'll have the players out there in uniforms and helmets. I can't wait to get out there with them. That first day energy, man, it's second to none. Everybody has it, and we're anxious, won't sleep much tonight, and excited to get out there tomorrow.
Yes, sir. You've been here for the back half of the school year, and then you had, obviously, 7-on-7 in the summer workouts.
Sure.
It's not a huge sample size, but with the sample size that you have seen, how do you feel about where you're at going into camp?
I like where we're at. The kids have been, so welcoming, they're hungry. They've worked so hard. They've been very welcoming to me and our staff. We have great kids here at Sulphur Springs. They work hard. They have great attitudes. And they're hungry to be successful. Anytime you have those three things, you've got the ingredients to have a good season. And so we're excited. They've done everything we've asked of them, and just can't wait for tomorrow.
Coach, you got here at the end of the spring semester, or spring semester. You've had all summer, and you're going into camp. What's been the biggest challenge for you as you've made this transition to Sulphur Springs?
I'd say just, implementing our expectations. I think anytime I was at P&G for 13 years, and so when you're somewhere for 13 years, it kind of, flows pretty smoothly. And so, getting somewhere and implementing change can be hard. It can be difficult. And I'd just say implementing change, implementing our culture, our standards, our expectations. And so it's gone better than I expected, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I said, it's great people here, great administration. Starts with Mr. Lamb at the top. Just absolutely supportive of everything we've done. And so great teachers, great kids, and it made the spring semester and the summer really fly by. We didn't really have any difficult days. Everybody was moving in the same direction nearly every day, and had a great summer, great participation in our summer strength and conditioning. And so, we're excited about tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Coach, I want to ask you, this program feels kind of like one that in the moment kind of needed a reset, a fresh start, and you're kind of getting that, moving from 5A to 4A, new
Sure.
classification, a new district, and then a new head coach, one that has a lot of experience and a lot of success as well. How do you feel being in this role, and what, you talked about implementing some of those things that you've, had success with in the past, and bringing that here to kind of a new start?
It's exciting times to me. I talk to the kids all the time. New opponents, new schedule, dropping down a classification. You really can't ask for more, honestly, in a change. And change can be difficult, but I think there's so many positives, and not just for football, but all sports. I think it's going to be a wonderful year for Sulphur Springs, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Everything's been great. Awesome kids. They've worked so hard, and I think they put themselves in a spot where we can have a successful year.
Yes, sir.
And not that you needed a jump start or more excitement, because I know coaching brings that, but it's got to be exciting for you. A new challenge, a completely new place that you've never coached before.
Sure.
New community, new expectations, new kids. That's got to be exciting.
Well, it definitely gets your competitive juices flowing.
Yeah.
That's I think there's not a day goes by, and not just for me, but our coaches, our players. You're doing everything you can to help yourself be successful. And so, I think,
what can we do to get better today?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's anytime you're challenged with something, and we're all challenged with the same thing, and try to get this thing back on track. And so, man, you're as a coach, as a player, you're competitive. And so you get out of the car, it's not hard to be focused. We live by the slogan. We talk about it almost every day, as every day is 4th and 1. And so that's a slogan that we live by.
Love that.
We talk about with the players all the time. We're going to have signs up in the field house. And so, we get out of our trucks every day. That's what we think. It's 4th and 1, the pressure, the excitement, man. There's something on the line today. And so today's the most important day, and something we talk about all the time.
Yes, sir. As much as this is a preview for the full season, we are, let's talk about specifically camp. I know every year you have your goals and your expectations, and there is so much carryover, but especially being kind of your first year and everything. How much does that change what the goals and expectations will be for camp?
You know, we are very blessed, and so we got I was able to get 3 or 4 coaches in with me in January. Coach Medlock came, and Coach Page came soon after that. Coach Newton came soon after that, and so a lot of us have been here. And so with UL rules now, where you can do football throughout the summer, it's really different, these days, in the fact that we've really been doing football for the last 5 months. And so tomorrow morning will just be a continuation of what we've been working on, and so it's pretty nice. We hired coaches this summer. They've already been at football practice with us, through the months of June and July, and so they already know what's going on. And so it kind of takes the mystery off of day one. We actually yesterday morning we did our first practice, and so tomorrow morning's practice we've actually already gone through, and so all the plays, everything, and so tomorrow morning they already know what's coming, and so there's nothing, no mystery for tomorrow morning. We've all been through it. All the coaches have been here all summer long, and so just a continuation of having a great practice, focusing on getting better, and making sure we're at our best come the first game of the season.
As far as getting acclimated to the new offenses and new defenses that you and your staff at P&G brought in, how have the kids handled that transition?
Oh, very well. I mean, I'll tell you what, they're very intelligent, number one, great football minds. I'll tell you what the most important part, and I think, towns like Sulphur Springs has, is, man, these kids care. I mean, they care about football. They care about being a Sulphur Springs Wildcat. Most of them have grown up their whole life, just can't wait to play at the Prim. And so when you have those ingredients, implementing those kind of changes go pretty smoothly. And so I'm proud of the kids. They're excited to get out here at the Prim this year and play, and I can't wait to watch them.
Well, and obviously I was fortunate enough to play quarterback for Sulphur Springs, and like you said, a lot of those kids they grow up and they want to be a Sulphur Springs Wildcat. They want to play at Gerald Prim, and Sulphur Springs being the only high school in Sulphur Springs, I think that really goes a long way from the community standpoint,
Absolutely.
From an athlete standpoint, and it means more to be good. There's a lot of pressure to go and be successful, and so we haven't had success in a couple of years, and so there are expectations. People want to be better, and I won't steal the words from you, but I truly believe that things are headed in a really great direction.
I wanted to ask you, we kind of mentioned in implementing the offenses and defenses and everything. The last few years, Sulphur Springs has had a bit of a unique schedule in which they only had 2 or 3 non-district games before district starts. Obviously, this year it's 50-50. You have 5 non-district games before district starts. Obviously, you want to be all the way in by week 1 or whatever, but how much do you think those extra 2 or 3 non-district games will help?
Oh, huge. And I'm coming from 5A, so we had 3 non-district games at P&G, and so sometimes when district starts, you're not exactly sure who you are as a team yet.
Yes,
and so when you only have 2 scrimmages and 3 games, so man, I'm excited about 2 scrimmages and then 5 non-district games. That's 7 times that our guys are going to get to go out there. We can learn so much more about them, the kind of player they are, what they do well, what they don't do well. And so absolutely, by week 6, you definitely know who you are as a team and can be very well prepared for that first district game.
Coach, I wanted to ask, can you explain for the viewers watching kind of what they can expect maybe in terms of your offense and defense, like schematically?
That's a good question. And there's not any mystery these days with all the film and everything.
No,
right. Yes, sir. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
No, of course. Well, on defense, we'll base out of a 4-down front, and so we'll have 4 linemen, which will be different than what they've been in the past here at Sulphur Springs. So we'll play 4 D linemen, 3 linebackers, and 4 secondary players. So we'll kind of base out of a 4-3. We're just kind of focused on stopping the run, and stopping winning the line of scrimmage. I feel really confident. I think we have a lot of senior leadership on defense this year. And so I kind of, obviously just kind of came into that, but we've got some really talented kids who are coming back who played last year. I've got some new faces in on defense. And so I'm really excited about our defensive side of the ball. Coach Brett Page is our defensive coordinator, came in from Bryan High School, where he's been the defensive coordinator for the last 10 years with Ross Rogers, who's a THSCA Hall of Honor, was president of the Texas High School Coach Association. So Coach Page has a great pedigree, played linebacker at Mary Hardin Baylor, played in the national championship game when he was in college. And so we're very, very blessed to have Coach Page at Sulphur Springs High School. And offensively, we're a spread offense, based out of 11 personnel. So we have a tight end, we have a running back, and then 3 receivers is kind of the foundation of how we do things. Very kind of focus on being multiple personnel, but also multiple formation. And so we'll move guys around with a lot of motion, a lot of shift, and just trying to keep the defense off balance. we want to be 50-50. We want to run, half the time, pass half the time, but be flexible enough to do whatever it takes to win. And so,
Yes,
man,
sir.
we want to be 50-50.
I did want to ask you about that. How much of that is this is our game plan, this is what we're doing, or adapting along the way?
Everything in football, everything's adapting, and
Yes,
so
sir.
we want your game plan has to be flexible enough to where, because you don't know how they're going to line up, and so multiple times in my coaching career, and I'm not a young guy anymore, have we thought they were going to line up one way, and they come out the first quarter and they're totally different, and so
Yes, sir.
Offensively, you kind of learn, hey, we got to be flexible. We got to have enough in the game plan to where, hey, if we have to go throw it, 40 times, we got to go throw it 40 times. If we have to run it 40 times, then we're prepared to do that.
Yes,
I would
sir.
like for them to do what we've seen them do, and so everything works, in
Right.
our
The
favor.
age-old question,
Just-
does the offense change because of what the defense is doing, or does the defense change because the offense is doing? And
Good,
the answer is yes.
The answer is yes. And so, but be flexible, and we like I said, we want to be 50-50, but be flexible enough to do whatever it takes to win. And so, there may be nights where we have to throw it a whole bunch based on what they're doing, and there may be nights where we run it a whole bunch. And so we not really care about how we get to the end. As long as we get to the end with a win, stats and all those kind of things, we're not too concerned with.
You had mentioned some of that senior leadership, especially on
Mm-hmm.
defense. How much do you think in the early going you might rely on that until maybe you get a better feel for your team?
Yeah, I took over a program 13 years ago at P&G, and I was an offensive coach at Highland Park and Odessa Permian, and so came in there. I found out real quick it takes a while to be good on offense. It just does. There's just something with timing and chemistry with quarterbacks and receivers, offensive line working together and meshing together. So it's tough to be good on offense early. I found that out probably a little naive 13 years ago to think, man, we scored a bunch of points at Highland Park and Permian. We're going to continue to just get 50. Yeah, that wasn't the case. And so I found out real quick you better build it, especially early in the program as you start things, that you better build it around defense. And honestly, just kind of lucked into that here. Very blessed to have some really, really good, talented defensive players. We have some good sophomores that'll be on the varsity, but some very talented senior guys that'll be out there who have a lot of experience. There's something to being a senior. It's kind of just how it goes as a senior. If you've been a senior football player before, then man, things kind of slow down, and it's a little bit easier out there. And so we've got 7 or 8 really, really talented kids on defense. I'm excited to watch play this fall.
Yes, sir.
Well, and I know you know what I'm talking about, but it just is. It never fails that first week of camp or 2 days, or the defense always dominates.
Oh, man.
They always kill the
Absolutely.
offense,
Uh-huh.
and it makes the practice seem like it's so bad. And head coach is yelling because the offense can't score. But
Right.
like you said, it just takes a lot of chemistry.
It does.
And but it's good that you got some senior leadership on that defense. because
I'm
that's-
excited to
that's how
watch
you
them
win
play.
football
I'm
games.
excited to watch them play.
Yeah.
I really am. We've had a great, like I said, we had a great spring, a great summer, and I'm excited to watch Coach Page and our defense take the field this fall.
Yes, sir. You keep mentioning, your staff and people that you've brought with you.
Sure.
There are, a couple returning guys like Keenan Clayton and Tyreek
Mm-hmm.
Rollison. How much do you think they will help, guys that have been here and the players are, familiar with, and even in certain cases watched play growing up and that kind of thing?
Oh, I think it's huge. I think sometimes who is hired as the head coach can be a little bit overrated, to be perfectly honest with you. It's way bigger than me, and so who you bring in and who you have as assistant coaches is more important than anything. And so, man, we've been very fortunate to bring in some really good guys from some really winning programs around the state of Texas, and also mesh them with guys who are from here, who played here, who are extremely well respected, not only in the community but by our players. And so I think when you can find that chemistry between bringing coaches in and coaches that stayed, and I think we're very blessed, man. We've got a group of guys who are great role models. Man, they know that they've got to be great role models for the guys that they lead and teach and coach every day. They're great teachers in the building. They're men of character. They're men of integrity, and they'll do anything to help their position group be successful.
Yes, sir. Ryan, you had asked before we were on camera, you had a question I thought was really, really good. Again, this is more for, the fans watching at home, but if there was one or two or a few words you could use to describe what this team is, how would you describe this team right now?
That's a good. I would say hungry. I really would. I would continue to. From the first day here, when I met them, I could just the look in their eye. I could see how hungry they were for success, and so that's something we try to build on. And we haven't stopped talking about that since day one. But they've done everything that they can do. They came up early in the morning. They stayed after school. We've had a great summer. They played 7-on-7 and had success. And so I'm excited to get fall camp going. Just kind of build our identity, see who we are. You never know until you get pads on, and so it's we've been playing without pads for a long time now, and so this coming Saturday. We'll be scrimmaging here at the Prim at 8 o'clock in the morning, so anybody can come out and watch. And so we'll be here at 8 with full pads and be getting after each other. And so I'm excited. That's kind of when you start seeing who will fly around and who you can count on and what kind of players we have. And so I'm excited about that day. We got a while to go before we get there, but we're excited that Saturday when you finally get to put full pads on and get out here on the turf and practice and play. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. I think we're both excited, to be here and to see that. Just a couple more questions for you. I don't want to take your entire night. You had mentioned a couple times how good, especially attendance and energy and effort was this summer.
Sure.
As the head coach, how good does that feel? To see the guys that they're coming every single day, they're bringing the energy that you want to see them bring.
Well, you're not going to be successful without it. And so, we're not the only ones having summer conditioning. And so every school in the state's having summer conditioning. That's what we tell them, guys. We're not. Silver Springs isn't the only one doing this.
Yes,
and
sir.
So, we've got to find a way to be better than everybody today. Everybody's up at the school. And so our players have definitely, answered the bell, answered the call on that and showed up and worked hard, have been focused. And, you shouldn't expect to win unless you're outworking your opponents. And so,
Yes,
that's just part of it. You got to outwork them. And we've tried to find ways this summer to get better, even, different, unique ways to be better than whoever else is working against us that day. And so our kids have done that. And I'm excited to watch them play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that's a really great message because, like you said, you're not special for coming up on a Tuesday morning because everyone in your district is coming up on a Tuesday morning. It's it's about buying in. You talk about the kids being hungry. They want to win, like you said. Any taste of winning is, man, it's a heck of a feeling. It's a heck of a feeling.
That's right.
And I know you've been there, and man, I just, to me, a couple wins in that pre-district schedule, golly, that could go a long way. You get everyone bought in, going in the right direction, and I really think it might surprise some people.
We built our program that way. It's our setting goals. Our first goal is always to win the first game of the season. Let's get off to a great start. But then our next goal is to make the playoffs. We're those next 4 games. Yes, we want to win, no doubt about it. But we have got to figure out who we are. There's going to be some highs. There's going to be some lows. Everybody goes through that. But we are 100% focused on winning the first game, and then those 5 district games, finding a way to get in the playoffs and making sure everybody in town gets a playoff T-shirt. And so that's what we're about. That's what we've always built our program around, and what we will continue to focus on with our players to make sure that 6th game, that first game here at the Prim to start district, we know who we are and we can put our best foot forward.
Yes, sir. That was one of the final things I wanted to ask you. Goals, you obviously mentioned that. Do you ever find the goals adjusting as the season goes on, or are they dead set? It's win that first one and then just make the playoffs.
Well, yeah. So I'd like to win the first 2 district games and be in the playoffs. And so
how you get there might be the adjusting part. Right. It's always the same. You want to get to the playoffs, but he's talking about adaptability. It might change. That it might be a different. It looks like this in a high school football season.
Once we make the playoffs, then we'll set the next one. Hey, let's win district. Yes. And so absolutely, we'll add to it. And so win the first game, make the playoffs. Once we make the playoffs, then we'll readjust and say, all right, let's go win. Let's go. We got 3 games left. We got 2 games left. Hey, let's go try to get a piece of the district championship. Then we'll set our sights on the bi-district championship and the area championship. And so absolutely, as the season goes, we'll definitely start adding things to it. We're going to keep it simple at first and just continue to work hard and make sure, like I said, to have a great month of August. Finding ways to get better, being focused, having great practices. It's hot for everybody.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
It's not just hot for the Wildcats. It's hot for everybody. And just finding ways to fight through that and have good practices and be focused and make sure when we leave every day that we've gotten better.
Yes, sir. Ryan, any final questions?
No, man. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Absolutely.
This has been a lot of fun. I know Tyler and I are both really excited. We know you're excited, and I speak for all of Silver Springs. We're excited.
Yes, sir. Again, Coach, like Ryan said, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. Like I said, we're both excited. We know everyone watching is excited. And speaking of, for anyone watching, obviously come to every single one of these games possible at home, on the road. But for anyone who can't make it, you're not going to have to miss a single second, a single snap. We'll be bringing you, live video broadcast of every single game. And we'll also be doing some more stuff. Don't want to reveal everything yet, but we've got some other shows, some other exciting things going along throughout the season. Coach, again, thank you for joining us here today.
Well, I do want to thank you guys for doing what you do, man. It's a huge deal to get our kids in our program, the recognition and and highlighting them, like you do. We really appreciate it, and looking forward to working with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And thank y'all for watching tonight. Like I said, ton of stuff coming up every single Friday night. Tune in for me and Ryan and to watch your Sulphur Springs Wildcats, everything else along the way. We'll see y'all then.